Hey y'all, my name's Megan. I'm a homeschool mom of two, and welcome to my channel. Oh, now more delicious. I think I'm gonna steal that as like the tagline for this YouTube channel. Today's video is an awesome collaboration hosted by Valerie at Our Homeschool Castle. I met Valerie through a secular homeschooler YouTube group, say that 5 times fast, that was created last fall. I am so absolutely grateful to be a part of this collaborative group because this group of creators, which as of right now I think is all ladies, we have just been there for each other. They have made me feel connected and seen and really just pushed me to be a better creator. And I've really appreciated that. So to all of my like secular YouTube ladies out there, like, hey y'all, what's up? I see you. Anywho, the topic of this collaboration is going to be changes that we are implementing in our homeschool this winter season. So make sure that you go and check out all of the fabulous creators in the playlist linked below. My hope is that you really get some inspiration for maybe shaking the dust off, shaking things up for your homeschool this winter, and really find some awesome homeschool creators that speak to you, that you can connect with. Because you guys, I don't know about y'all, but with everything going on, plus homeschool, plus if you're like me, kind of adding that extra qualifier of secular onto it, it can be a little isolating, a little bit lonely. And YouTube has been such a way for me to feel connected. I love talking to you guys in the comments. I love it when you reach out to me on Instagram, all of those things. I just feel like we're a little, snuggly community. And I hope that you guys feel that too, and that this video collaboration will help you find some more people out there to just kind of like add to your little circle. So what has changed for my homeschool this winter? Well, if you're from around these parts, then you will know that my homeschool is still on a little bit of a hiatus. We actually get back to business as usual next week. And if you're more interested in what our specific plans are for the month of January, I'm going to throw a little bar up here in the video, and you guys can check out my video on our plans for January. Anyways, I would say that in terms of what has really changed for us or will be changing for us this winter season, we've got 2 major shakeups happening. The first thing that we really have changing in our homeschool this winter is that we had to completely rearrange our house in terms of where our homeschool space is located. So we moved to this house this past spring. So this is our first winter in this home. And if you didn't know, we live in northern Indiana, and we're also new to northern Indiana via Texas. So this is actually our 4th year here in Indiana, but our 1st year in this house. And when we originally moved in, we put our homeschool space in our like built-in enclosed porch. And this is a porch with like actual walls, windows, door. It's not screened or anything like that. And it's just so beautifully lit that it felt like a really special place to store our homeschool space, have our reading nook. I had a desk and a workspace, and it was a place where the kids could take out their games and play on our nice little rug, right? And it made for really pretty videos on this YouTube channel because of all of the sunlight. Well, that space was actually not insulated, so come winter time, it is beyond cold on that porch. The tile floors even feel a little bit frosty in the morning, and there was just no way for us to continue to use that space as a functioning homeschool space. Basically, it became like a big closet for all of our stuff, or should I say like walk-in freezer for all of our board games and everything else. So we did a huge turnaround in our home. We moved our girls into the same bedroom, bought them a bunk bed, put that all together, and took that extra bedroom, which I'm actually in now, and turned it into our homeschool space. It's been that way for about 2 weeks now, and I would say that things are working out really, really well. So here in a few minutes, I'm going to give you an updated tour of our homeschool space and really show you guys how we are using this room to function as a homeschool room and as a playroom and as a storage room and as a set for these videos. It's a lot. Okay, I'd say that the second major change that we will be implementing this winter season in our homeschool is really that when we begin back next week, we are going to be drilling down on what you might term as like traditional academics in our homeschool. Really because in the fall we were outside so much, and over Christmas we did an entire unit about historical traditions and practices surrounding the holiday season. And because winter is so bitterly cold here, gray and really unpredictable, we have decided to just sink into this season. So lots of reading, lots of writing, lots of things that really we were not so feeling earlier in the school year, we're going to get into hot and heavy this upcoming season. So after I take you guys on that room tour, I'm going to lay out the game plan for you a little bit better on what we'll be doing to like get with it with pens and pencils to paper. Are you guys ready for a homeschool room tour? Yeah. Are you? Okay, let's do it. Alright guys, so this is our new homeschool room, and I'm going to take you around and just show you a few of my favorite things. Let's do it. Okay, this is the reading nook for our new homeschool room. It's just like the reading nook from our old homeschool room. We just moved it upstairs. So I've got a rug, some really awesome floor cushions. These are from Walmart. The kids like to use them to lay on, get snuggly. You can also build forts with them. They're really cool. And then I just have a bookcase with a couple of books that we're currently working on. This works out really well as a space to read with my youngest, who's 3, PJ. She really benefits from some face-to-face reading. And it's also a fun space where the kids can bring their toys, especially like Duplos or building blocks, to this space. It's just a little bit more cozy than the wood floor. Now I'm going to show you our little house setup that I have on the other corner of the room. Alright, so I set up this corner of the homeschool room to really serve 2 purposes. Number 1, you can see they have their play kitchen, so of course it's a place where they can play house, cook, wash their dishes, and I love this play kitchen from IKEA. I attached to it a little vintage mailbox that they can leave each other notes, and on the other side I have a few aprons. And of course they have their play food and some different things stored down below. And then I have this table and chair, which really it's for playing house, but also you can see that little PJ here is enjoying doing some of her Montessori works as well. And I store the rest of those, like different games and things for her to do, in this closet. So let's go take a look. So most importantly, we have our baby lock on this door so that the kids, well, so that the 3-year-old can't get in without permission. But I want to show you guys how I store most of our homeschool supplies. And these are things that we are not using on a daily basis. So on the door itself, I just took this shoe organizer, and I have different things in here that we would use regularly, but like I said, not every day. our pipe cleaners, cups, glue, extra paintbrushes, tile pieces, yarn, tissue paper. You can take those. You know, just the usual. But then inside the closet up top, I have our board games as well as our additional canvases so that we can paint if the mood strikes. I also have several beads, games. This particular organizer, the sand's downstairs. This particular organizer I use for office supplies. So we have extra pens and pencils, as well as markers, staples, anything like that. And I've got a scissors, extra paint supplies. Down below, those are books that I just don't want the kids having access to all the time because they're curriculum specific and I just want them to stay nice and neat. So this is just kind of our like Mary Poppins Barney bag closet of supplies. Oh, but probably like the biggest like hot tip in this whole closet, get yourself trays and lots of trays and then more trays because you can do things like the magic sand, Play-Doh, but you can also use them for organizing works. And also, if we're doing an activity downstairs, then I can come here with the bucket, put everything that I want inside and easily transport it down the stairs, back up again, and make sure that everything gets put away nice and neat. Okay, there's only one other little area to show you in our new homeschool. Okay, so this area of the homeschool room is just for storage, toy storage. I picked up this little cube organizer from Walmart. You guys, it was $30 and it is smaller, but I actually liked that because when I put it on its side, it's at the perfect height to really work as a play surface for the kids. I did pick up some wood textured contact paper to put on top to kind of warm that up. So they've got their Bluey house here, as well as some Duplos, some wooden blocks, and a Melissa and Doug house as well. In this area, I also have this chalkboard, which I really haven't figured out what I want to do with. So it's currently blank. And the kids have their Tony box, which is an audio-friendly box for kiddos that has different stories and songs actually in these little characters. And when you place them on top,
No one's ever known. No bots.
Right? So,
I'm a bots. I'm a bots.
You don't like it?
I'm a bots.
You want it? Okay, so you can see that is the perfect height for her to be able to use that as a play surface. And they can also take these things over to the rug as well. Okay, that is it for our new homeschool room. So I'm going to take you back over to the rug and show you what I've got on our cart for getting a little bit more academic heavy this winter season. Let's go. All right. Did you guys like that little tour of our homeschool room? Yeah, I bet you did. I really want to get into showing you guys this cart and talking a little bit more about how we are going to really get down to the nitty-gritty of traditional academics this winter season. Like I said previously, our homeschool space was totally ruined by winter, thanks a lot. And so I've really moved anything that we're going to be using on a daily basis into this cart. And I keep this behind our front door just tucked away. We don't really do our academics, pen to paper up in this room. This is, you guys just saw the room, you know what it's for. We really do all of that at the dining room table, which I know is just so homeschool. But you know what? It works out really well for us because snacks are right there, hot tea, drinks, all of those things, candles, everything like that. I really feel more comfortable having at the dining room table as opposed to up here in a playroom and where we don't have to navigate stairs, etc. to do it. Also, by having these two spaces separated by levels has been really great, and I anticipate it to work out really well because I can set up my littlest, who is 3, up here in this room to do her Montessori works or activities and really give a space to focus, the dining room, to my 7-year-old. So let's go through this cart and I'll show you guys the specifics of what is inside. So on the top of the cart, I've put these 2 little book dividers here that I got at the dollar spot at Target, and I'll pull those down and show you guys what's inside. We usually work really well in our homeschool on a block schedule, so doing subjects every other day works for us. So I just created, and I'll pull these out, but I think one might fall over. Oh, no, Lucy. I just created these little labels. Let's see if that focuses. I'm not sure if it is, where they are day A and day B. And inside of those, I've separated them by math and science in one box and really looking at reading, language arts, and history in the other box. I have put together a new organization system for this winter, and I talked about this extensively in my January video. So if you really want to see a really good flip through this, I'm going to put that video up above again. But basically I created goal sheets for every subject. So if we're looking at reading, this is our reading goal sheet, and we're just going to work better if we do things from a monthly perspective instead of getting down into the minutia of a daily or weekly. So part of that is just creating a goal word for reading, as well as making a checklist of the lessons that we need to get done. Check out that January video if you really want to see a walkthrough of this binder and how we're going to be using it. Anyways, back to looking at our science and math box for one of our block days. So the things that I have in here, we are using core knowledge science, and anything that we need for our upcoming unit is printed out and in this binder, so it's totally accessible. But a few of the other things that we will be using, I have this lovely, beautiful science notebook, and this is from Megan at Schoolnest. I absolutely love all of her products, and they will be linked below. What I really love about this science notebook is it has narrative style pages. So for Winnie, she can do illustrations of what we've done or what we've been talking about, and then we can write below a little bit of those observations. So I really love the kind of narrative detail put into the science notebook. It also has a ton of other things in it as well. The other thing I have in here is we just have a TinkerActive book, and this is for science. You guys can get these off of Book Outlet for really, really inexpensive, and we just like them because they are really fun, really bright and colorful. But what I really like is at the end of each chapter or section, oh Lord, you can tell that the kiddo, the littler one, has gotten into this as well. But at the end of each section, they'll have an activity, the Let's Tinker activity, and those are really easy to go through, and they're like engineering skills. So building towers out of found materials, how much weight can that hold, etc. They're just really cool, really easy, really fun. I have that in here just for supplement to kind of add some activities to our science curriculum. For math, we are using Dimensions Math, and this is first grade B work. And so I have our textbook, our workbook, and then my book all ready to go. I've got myself tabbed on where we're going to be beginning, and this is the second half of the Dimensions Math curriculum for first grade. Now we also use Beast Academy Math, which is an online math resource that's really great, especially if your kiddo is advanced in math. It's super fun and interactive, and it keeps that gaming kind of style of learning going. Oh, and in my cart, I also have our absolute favorite board game right now, which is Race to Planet X. And this is just an adorably designed game, but it's also super, super fun. It is all about number bonds So looking at those addition, subtraction, and number bonds up to 20. So I really like that as well. And it's just well designed and super duper duper cute. We're really, really, really into playing this right now. And we're going to continue to do so. So that's why I have it easy access on the cart as possibly a daily activity. It gives me real like skip bow vibes. So if you were a real skip bow head back in the day, I think you would really like this game as well. Also, to go with that dimensions math, I have my Schoolnest primary mathematics notebook that we use as scratch paper when we are playing Beast Academy. I'll just show you a little bit. It has a really large grid in it, and that works out really, really well when we are doing like our Beast Academy style equations. And this is just our scratch paper. I really, really love that as well. To go with the math too, I did pick up a TinkerActive Math book. And this is just supplemental for fun, again, just in case Winnie wants a good old-fashioned workbook. I get these off of Book Outlet for a few dollars a piece. Something else I have for science is I did just get this book, which is 100 Things to Know About Science. And I just thought this would be a fun one to pull out and just read little facts, right? Little things to get excited about science. And the last thing I'll show you guys in here, I'm sorry, I'm like, now I took you on a tour of my room and now I'm taking you on a tour of this cart, is we are doing the Zoey and Sassafras, and we're on Unicorns and Germs. These are a wonderful series by Asia Citro, and her website just includes like all of this supplemental material that you can do. I actually have this one, which was some leftover sheets from our like experiment hypothesis we did with the last book that we went through. All right, that is what we're doing when I say we're drilling down on academics for math and science. Now let me show you what we're doing in terms of language arts and history. So language arts and history are liberal arts. For reading, we do reading lessons online via FaceTime with my mother-in-law, who is a veteran reading specialist. You guys can see that pop up in my videos every now and then. And tell me in the comments below if you want to see a video that's just totally about our system for teaching reading. If you're interested, I could do a walkthrough video on that. But anyways, for language arts, we use the Brave Writer Dart program, which I totally suggest. It is phenomenal. And we are actually catching up on December's book right now. So that's Heartwood Hotel, A True Home. And we're a little more than halfway through on this book. And I've actually gotten really like clever. I did print out the big juicy questions, which is part of the Dart program, and I just glued them into the cover of the book so that I know to ask those questions as we go along. And in this, I also have just our little notebook that we use for doing our dictations. So this is like some from our last book that we read. And I have those all ready to go in here. All right, what would be complete if I didn't have another Schoolnest book? And this is our primary spelling notebook. And this is where Winnie practices some of the words that we might be using in a French style dictation where she has to fill in the blanks. And let's see. Well, that's all we have really for language arts going right now. But for history, we are diving right back into the story of the world, which this is not a secular curriculum, but I would say it's just like a neutral curriculum. You can change it to do what you need it to do. We really enjoy it, and the activities that are included I have in our notebook ready to go. And then we are also this month reading the Who Was Martin Luther King Jr. book, which I'm really, really loving this series. If you want to know a little bit more about this book, I will link my video about resources for Martin Luther King Day down below. All right, we almost done here. Okay, the other thing that I have going in here are our Bob sight word books, right? We're finishing these up this month as well. I really love the Bob books for teaching sight words because it isn't just a like flashcard system, but it's using those words in a book setting. Okay, so like she did it, right? Those would all be sight words, but it's putting it into sentences and into a narrative, and I just think that's a little bit more interesting. And then on the bottom, I just have some basic supplies. So this is just kind of the way that I feel like I'm going to stay organized and on top of it for drilling down a little bit more academically this winter in our homeschool. That hasn't always been my strength. So I'm hoping that this is a way to keep me on track. All right, you guys, I know that that was a lot, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video and that you check out the other creators in the collaborative playlist down below. And don't forget to tell me like what's changing for your homeschool this winter. Are you making changes? What you've been doing working for you? What? Anyways, you know what I'm gonna say now, right? And that is it perfect? No, baby. And it was never gonna be. But is it done? For today, yeah, it is. So until next time, bye!